Sunil Gavaskar, who joins us live from England. Sunil, thanks so much for talking to us. Firstly, it seems like a very similar tournament to the IPL. We now know that CLT20 has been cancelled because of lack of interest. What do you think went wrong with CLT20? Because on the face of it, it's an IPL-like tournament.
Very, very difficult to answer that question. It's pretty much like T20 leagues all over the world are very, very popular. The Caribbean Premier League is popular. The one in Australia, Big Bash, also is quite well followed. There's also the T20 leagues in England and New Zealand. So it's hard to put a finger as to why the Champions League didn't quite generate the same kind of interest. Maybe a different format could have been tried with two groups. Groups of five in one and five in the other, and maybe something like that could have worked.
Right. Do you see a relationship in what is happening in the IPL in the last few years with regards to corruption having any effect on this decision by the BCCI? Has the eroding of brand IPL, you think, affected other T20 leagues too, and in this case CLT20?
No, there's no connection. I think completely different. The Champions League has 4 teams from the Indian Premier League, 3 of whom get a direct, top 3 get a direct entry. The 4th team has to play the qualifying. And there are 2 teams from Australia, 2 teams from South Africa. So no, I don't think anything to do with the IPL would have had an effect on the Champions League.
Okay, what tournaments, do you think should replace CLT20? Talks are already on about having a mini IPL. Do you think it is a feasible idea, a short and an additional IPL in a season?
Well, I think in cricket anything is feasible, but and particularly with the T20 format, anything is feasible. But the speciality of the IPL has been that it's a 6-week tournament where with playing a home and away match with each team, each franchise. Leads the teams into the knockout stages, and it sort of builds up gradually. And in a mini IPL, the build-up time will be very, very little. So I'm not very sure as to how that will work. But I would imagine that the window needs to be used. That the window is there, and the window has to be utilized. Otherwise, some other event will take over that window.
Okay, if I were to ask you, what effect do you think the scrapping of the league will have on cricket world in general, if at all, any effect?
Now, Champions League is a very, very lucrative tournament for the non-Indian franchises, non-Indian teams. And therefore, it was something that they were very keen to win their domestic competition to qualify for the Champions League. So, I think with that incentive being taken away, certainly, I think all the leagues over the world will be just a little bit diminished.
Okay. Apart from that, one cannot also forget that through this same tournament, CLT20, players like Kieron Pollard, Sunil Narine came to the fore, and the world of cricket took notice. So that is another aspect that you think will be affected, that of scouting new talent.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think, like you said, Kieron Pollard, Sunil Narine. These were the guys who came through the Champions League T20, and certainly I think it's not going to be easy for the Indian franchises to find that talent, which is not a known talent. There will be a lot of known guys who have been playing international T20 for their countries. They'll obviously be in the spotlight, but it's the Sunil Narines and the Kieron Pollards who hadn't played for West Indies, but who, by virtue of what they did in that inaugural tournament, have now become fabulous performers in the IPL and all the big bashes, etc., all over the world. So yes, I think the cancellation of the Champions League will mean that we probably won't see those players, those unknown players who have not represented their countries.